That's the president golfing. Yeah, he's golfing up here.
We must address this because what we constantly heard from this administration was the saying, waste, fraud, and abuse. It turns out this motto was used as a defense mechanism for pure projection. Why would the leader of the free world be utilizing such military equipment while he hits the links at his golf course? Why would the taxpayers foot the bill for this? After all, he said,
because I'm going to be working for you. I'm not going to have time to go play golf, and believe me.
I love golf. I think it's one of the greats, but I don't have time. 250 rounds, that's more than a guy who plays on the PGA Tour plays.
Obama ought to get off the golf course and get down there.
Everything's executive order because he doesn't have enough time because he's playing so much golf. He doesn't have enough time to convince Congress to do it. So I have the greatest stuff. But you know what? And I love golf. But if I were in the White House, I don't think I'd ever see Turnberry again. I just want to stay in the White House and work my off.
As we know, that was a lie, a complete lie. According to didtrumpgolftoday.com, 22% of his second presidency has been spent on the golf course. It has cost the American taxpayer $175 million and counting. On the basis of the military protecting Donald Trump
is apparently now so terrified for his life amid the war with Iran that when he was golfing this weekend, he had these surface-to-air missile defense systems right along beside him. You can see it right here, zoomed in, and Donald Trump is golfing right over here. So you can see this a little clearer right here. Here are the missile defense systems. Here's Donald Trump. This appears to be an ANTWQ-1 Avenger short-range air defense system. Obviously very odd to see around the president while he's on the golf course. And Trump was certainly very afraid of what was flying over him in this space. NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, said that its F-16 fighter jets had intercepted 2 general aviation aircraft before confirming that a third aircraft also triggered an alert as Trump was preparing to depart the area. And as this Fox News article notes, pilots and the public were also told that U.S. Army ground-based defense assets may be present in the area. And so now we appear to have visual confirmation of that here. Trump's apparently taking these threats very seriously. If you remember a few weeks back when he ended up ditching that Qatar-bought plane and instead used the other Air Force One jet because the Qatar jet did not have the proper missile defense systems installed.
That Fox News article that Midas Touch mentioned would also include the following. The third incident appeared to delay the president's departure by only about 13 minutes. During that time, emergency SUVs, law enforcement officers, and United States Secret Service agents were seen moving into position near the runway where the president was scheduled to depart. It has been reported that the Humvee next to Trump golfing in a picture we had shown is fitted with the Avenger system, which can fire Stinger short-range surface-to-air missiles. A mobile short-range missile launch system was brought to the course to enable a rapid, close response to attacks targeting the president, allegedly. As you can see in this video, posted by Special Assistant to the President and Comms Advisor Margot Martin, Trump shook hands with generals in New Jersey in the same garb he golfed in at Bedminster, the Humvee stationed right behind members of the military. TWZ would also report the Avengers, which fire Stinger heat-seeking surface-to-air missiles, are a fast-reacting point defense asset and do make some sense for protecting a golfing president. They have been upgraded to deal with drones, and there's also a known rooftop Avenger missile turret near the White House for air defense purposes, which was installed not long after 9/11. They continue. When deployed to assist the Secret Service in protecting the President of the United States of America, the Avenger systems are operated by the 263rd Army Air and Missile Defense Command, NORAD would say. A spokesperson declined to provide further details about how the Avengers are used in this fashion. Okay, so there are some who have weighed in and said, good. I'm glad that he's fearing for his life because it puts undue stress on somebody, blah, blah, blah. Like, if that's your take, whatever. I think it's stupid. I'm not surprised by this. I think what I was really just like, oh, wow, that's actually a thing, is that it's out in the open. A lot of times in politics, you don't want your enemies to know your moves. You don't want them to know your strategies. And yet with this, it's just there. So I'm a little surprised that they did not try a more covert operation to keep it under wraps. And so their enemies didn't know what was going on. That's just my opinion. There are some who are also saying, yeah, he's doing this because of Iran and this and that. Yeah, I don't think so. I think there have been multiple attempts on this man's life. He loves going to golf courses. He loves going to his own golf course. And at one point, according to the reporting, there was somebody hiding in a bush that was ready to take him out. Not good. So how I see it, he's just trying everything at this point. But again, what I go back to is the hypocrisy of it all. What I go back to is the fact that we heard on the campaign trail that they were going to cut down waste, fraud, and abuse. That is the not one, but one of the top things that they said they were going to take care of. Elon Musk puts cronies involved who are mad young, including some dork named Big Balls. They steal all of our private information and they get off like bandits. And in the meantime, they didn't save anything. They cut a bunch of programs that would have helped so many people, all because what they want to do in the end is bring apartheid South Africa to the United States of America and try and destabilize so many different countries around the world that we as a country were trying to help in some ways. The deaths are really alarming. The amount of people that have been hurt by this administration and the cuts, alarming. And yet they will argue that they are the pro-life party. They are not. They are the pro-death party. And the reason they are the pro-death party is because that is the status quo of upholding white supremacy. That is what they are trying to do. That is behind their every move. It is so blatantly consistent that so many people, rather, what I find really, really hurtful is how so many people do not see it. And they continue to think, oh, the Tucker Carlson defense, who, by the way, should not be an ally of anybody on the left. Period. Him saying at one point on Fox News that white supremacy is a hoax. Okay, pal. Okay. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYTsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.